Does the offense want to win a practice scrimmage because the loser has to run laps, or because they take pride in winning? Is it because they made mistakes if they lose, or is it because the referee called penalties? How about when running laps? Does the athlete have shame and doubt about their ability, or do they feel motivated and confident that they're going to play better next time? Physical talent is part of the equation when achieving success in competition. There's no doubt. Physical talent. One such example could be Bo Jackson, the first athlete to be named an all-star in 2 major American sports and ran the fastest NFL 40-yard dash ever. So there's no doubt this gentleman physically one of one, right? Still, great teams have players who don't just settle for success. They have an unrelenting desire to achieve greatness. See, the thing is, like Bo, they have coaches and leaders who understand that maximizing mental strength and internal motivation depends on one's understanding of psychology and competition. They get that the game is mental. Sports are mental. How does the mental game impact the final score? Or in the workplace, it doesn't have to be on the field. It doesn't necessarily have to be a scoreboard. At your work, that culture you help creating, how does the mental game come into play? So first, let's look at motivational interviewing real quick. MI evolved from the work of American psychologist Carl Rogers, was later formulated by psychologist William R. Miller, Stephen Rolnick, to help navigate the difficulties of inspiring change. I always say taking a step towards change is hard. Committing to change is the hardest. Sometimes I talk to people and they'll say, I like change. Change is great. Change is easy. Well, it's all situational. Depends what change we're talking about. There are certain types of change that are hard for everyone, that will evoke ambivalence in everyone. More than 1,000 clinical trials have detailed its effectiveness on motivation and goal completion, but its applications with teams, specifically in sports, have gained recognition in recent years. The main objective of MI in competition is to foster an athlete's intrinsic motivation. By tapping into their values, desires, and personal goals, coaches can uncover the underlying factors that drive a person's performance. What's underneath the surface? What can actually get them motivated to do the hard things? You don't necessarily need to be motivated to do the easy things. It's all about the toughest times when you're facing the most adversity. Then, what do you tap into? Then, what is your motivation? Through open-ended questions, active listening, professionals can help athletes reflect on their strengths, weaknesses, and aspirations. This is especially important when the player faces adversity, such as going on a losing streak. Or, if we're talking about the workplace, a team member demonstrating burnout because they have a stretch of bad days or weeks. When you hear your coworker or your team member say, you know, when it rains, it pours, when they just can't catch a break, that's their version of going on a losing streak. So then the question is, what happens then? One of the critical elements of MI in competition is the notion of autonomy. People are more likely to be motivated and committed if they feel a sense of ownership and control over their decisions. The simplest explanation is that we all want things that we helped create to be successful. When there's a successful outcome, we like to say, I had a part in that, whether it's in the workplace or it's on the field. When using MI, the leader empowers their team through non-judgmental feedback and support to envision a plan that ensures they reach their full potential. Not the status quo, not just saying, okay, this person is doing well, so I'll just leave them alone. No, helping them grow and reach the highest of levels that they can, pushing them outside of their comfort zone. Coaches can encourage this process by empowering players to identify their goals and develop strategies. By fostering a collaborative and non-judgmental environment, coaches inspire athletes to take responsibility for their progress and create a strong self-belief. The leader also ensures there is a balance between celebrating successes and challenging them to elevate their game. Psychologist Barack Rosenstein called this premise the 80% rule. Let's talk about the 80% rule. So Rosenshine created the principles of instruction that suggests the optimal success rate a coach should strive for is 80%. This is because 80% success rate demonstrates that the person understands how to succeed and that learning is taking place. But it also shows that they are being challenged, because if they succeeded 95% of the time, there would be little incentive to push themselves to reach higher performance. So 80%, I'm making strides. I understand. I'm seeing progress. I'm doing good things. But there's also that 20% where, okay, I need to get better. I need to hone my craft. I need to elevate myself. Yeah, if you're just succeeding 95, 96, 100% of the time, where's the challenge? That's why often you hear coaches say we learn so much more from our losses than we do our victories.